The oldest I've ever dated was 9 years my senior. I was in my early 20s. He was my manager at work. So now I believe in don't shit where you eat.
So my first relationship, right? He's five years older. Right now, when I think back, right, I think like 5 years is sort of like a okay age gap for me. I can go. To be honest, I can go like even like 10 years. I'm fine with it. Okay. So to me, I think age is just an indication of how mature the person is. And for me, because sometimes I feel that I'm very insecure, and then if there's a person who is more mature, more grounded, right, I will feel more secure myself.
So right now you are dating someone that's younger than you, right?
Yes.
How's that like?
My current partner, right, he's 1 year younger, but it seems like he's more mature than myself in a way, I would say. Okay. It really is, it's about like connection, it's about like whether you can click with that person or not, or whether you guys, we are in the same like stage in life, and I think that's very important. Yeah.
My previous relationship where I was dating someone 3 years older than me, she was someone that I had to do long distance with. So the like amounted with that long distance, right, and her being like so much further ahead in life. And then for her, I guess at that point in time she was already close to 30. So for her it was just very natural to be looking for someone to settle down. But that's just not me back then. Like even now I don't think I'm like trying to settle down, right? Much less back then. My current relationship is 3 years younger than me, but it's very different in both relationships because I think it depends on love maturity, really, not so much age. I think it definitely comes in tandem lah. You know, like someone that's older would naturally just be more mature because they have more experience, right? But like I think comparing like someone that's maybe, for example, 30, right, but only having 1 year of dating experience as compared to someone that's 22 but having like 5 years of experience, I would prefer to date someone that's more mature in dating, because then I feel like it takes a lot for a relationship to work. So you need to understand like the dynamics between the relationship and being like selfless, right? It's not always all about you. And when you're in a relationship, that's what it's really all about compromise and just trying to work together. So they have to be more or less similar to me in terms of dating age. Yeah.
Okay.
The oldest I've ever dated was 9 years my senior. I was in my early 20s. He was my manager at work. So now I believe in don't shit where you eat. Yeah, so that's how we got to know each other.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely there was a dynamic where he held more power. A lot of things went along to what he likes, what he doesn't like. I think I lost a sense of self, and even being that young, do we really know who we are? You know, so while I was trying to learn about who I am, I also lost whatever that I found, and it was more catered to his whims.
I think when we start dating, right, that is where we really know what we want in a partner. Like, I think through experience, you'll know like, oh, maybe this guy, the personality, I can't deal with it, and there are certain traits that I really cannot take it. So that's where you really know, like, checks your list out. Okay, maybe this guy, the person is like, okay, or I want this guy, kind of like personality. Right.
I feel like he was trying to mold the perfect girlfriend or like the perfect partner, you know, because we actually broke up after a month. Yeah, but then like ding dong on for like 2 years. Yeah.
Damn.
So I think a person who is like 30 years old and it's their first relationship, I think their goal is different also. They might be thinking about like marriage. They want to get married like quicker, like because they are in their 30s,
There's
right?
like a time limit.
Yeah, correct.
I think the age gap in that relationship, it did start out as something that caused, that kind of created that kind of dynamic, but towards the end, it didn't really matter, because I think emotionally he was very immature. We fought a lot, and then it ended up with things like he threw my shoe out the window. Then like at 3 a.m. I need to go and like, hey, where's my shoe? And then there was once we were playing Dota. We were just playing lah, so I was just and then I fucked something up. Then he got very pissed off. He's like, I told you already, right? Then I'm like, what? Then don't play already lah. Like play until like that, then just don't play. Okay, I don't want to play anymore. Then I tried to like the laptop. He's like, no, you gotta play now, you gotta play. And then like he tried to pry it open, then I tried to pry it close. Long story short, the computer spoiled because he cracked the entire screen
my
over Dota, and it was a work laptop.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So like very nice, man.
I feel that like huge age gap, right? Like to me, my experience wasn't that toxic lah. So it was quite okay. Just that I feel that when my partner is like ahead in their life, I feel damn bad. I feel that like I'm not good enough for the person. I feel that is toxic.
Yeah.
Like, for me. Like
Yeah.
what you give, like
Yeah.
what you feel is
Yeah.
toxic. In a way, it will definitely be different from someone who is like 20 years old. They might just want to be like start exploring, start figuring out certain things. They might not be, I would say, not as serious in a way, because like that's where we get to explore understanding what we really want in a relationship. But at 30, right, I felt like a lot of pressure comes from like they want to settle down and all. So definitely will have difference lah.
Possibly.
I'm not sure, but like.
No man, I'm a fool.
The girl that I'm currently dating, right, we're more or less the same. Actually, in a sense, I feel like she's a lot more ahead in life because she's, financially stable. She can just like, she's more mature, so she's like working full time and stuff like that, right? But still schooling. To me, I always want to be able to provide the same as my partner, right? So, for example, if she's more financially stable and like, I will want to try to work harder in that sense. But I believe like both of you guys mentioned before, having to want to like be there for that person in terms of emotional stability, financial stability, and when you are just not there in life, right, it's very difficult for you to put yourself in that position, and therefore it becomes toxic because it is out of your control. But yeah, I feel like then you shouldn't even date in the first place,
I agree with you guys, but also one point of it that I want to point out is that, for example, don't be with someone who's toxic. This statement, everybody knows
Yeah.
but when you're really in it, you don't know. And being in a situation, any situation for the first time, you don't really know how this person might react. You don't even know what you will do, maybe. You don't know how upset you will be. You don't know how you will handle certain things. I think at 20, there are a lot more different kind of experiences. It can get a little bit overwhelming if, let's say, you don't have a strong foundation of who you are as a person. Yeah.
But like a lot of people say, love is blind, and then when you're dating, you go through your honeymoon phase, and then after that you realize like, oh shit, yeah, there's a lot of shit that you guys like cannot work through, and then it starts to become toxic because there's always that part of you that like, no, this is gonna work out. But then like the more you try, right, the more like shit unfolds, and then you just realize like, yeah, it's not gonna work out.
But with that being said, I think maybe possibly at 30, hopefully this person would be sure of who they are enough to be able to take a step back and think and reflect. Not saying that the 20-year-old cannot.
Yeah.
Another way to look at it is that like I think everyone has their ideal way of how relationship works.
Yeah.
Like it should have like you guys should have like a similar age and all. So when it comes to like big age gap, right, they will judge.
Okay, so now, right, if I were to look back about like maybe dating someone that was a lot older or a lot younger than me, it would have been more apparent and more difficult because back then I was also a lot younger and not knowing where I was in life, right? And I stand by like if you want to be happy with someone else, right, you first need to be happy with yourself. And as someone that is growing up, right, in their like during when you're secondary school or in poly, right, if you still haven't even figured out your own life yet, then how do you expect to be happy with someone else? Not saying that it's not possible, but I think there's just a lot more factors that come into play when you are so unsure of how things will turn out within your own life. But at the end of the day, I feel if you are really happy with who you are, then it doesn't really matter lah. Yeah.